Yep, I'm very, very, very late today. I apologize. Cannot seem to catch up at work. I'm just running in. I got food in front of me. So here we're back to the most unprofessional YouTube live on YouTube. Hey, if there's a award I can get, I'll take it. I think I got my mic on this time. No echo. Other than Taco Tuesday. Y'all might hear me crunch on some tacos. What's happening, Milkman? Damn it, Dave. You know I love saying that name. Dave, I'm gonna talk about that if you can give me a few minutes to shove these tacos down my throat. Catching up on a couple of PMs real quick. Catching up on Discord. I mean, this is live at it. I gotta say, partially I was late because I have been working on my mass change station. We'll talk about that also. Talk about a couple of things I saw on X today. Not going to talk about politics because I've already had enough of that. I didn't do an update video this morning on all the projects. I apologize. I had been up for 24 hours the night before that. For those of y'all who saw the video on Mass Chain, I had been up 24 hours at that point. By the time it was done, editing and uploaded. So I got about, with 24 hours, no sleep, and then about 3 hours before I had to go to work in the morning, I was exhausted. So eggs, frozen pizza, or wife to cook spaghetti. Your wife and my wife must be related because that's about the three things my wife can cook also. Um, hmm. You know, when my kids were younger, because my wife can't cook, my kids were younger, she used to always, when I would work nights, when I used to be on shift work, she would say, "Hey kids, we're going to eat breakfast for dinner." And the kids got all excited. "Oh, we eating breakfast for dinner?" And usually it was either like pancakes, eggs, or cereal. I'm like, "Honey, the kid's 18, 19 years old. That shit don't work no more. It don't work no more." Dude, frozen pizza, you can't go wrong with frozen pizza. I grew up on frozen pizza. I'd come home from school every day, starving, and those little Totino's or Geno's pizzas, they used to be 99 cents each. I would throw it in the oven every time I got home. And I still do it to these days. I still like those pizzas better than like the bigger pizzas. DiGiorno and shit. But spaghetti with some ground meat in it is one of my favorite Meals too. I changed clothes before, right? Actually, while the countdown was going on. And yes, I was right here. So you scared me for half a second. Damn it, Dave. Because I left the camera on while I was changing. Make me choke on my taco. One big thing, one big piece of news I think everybody's kind of excited about. I know majority of y'all are in Wingbits. And I know we've talked about it, but just something that I can put on the screen while I'm trying to shove this food down my throat. My kids love Taco Tuesdays. Wingbits has low altitude rewards ready to go. 6 hexes, I think it's 6 hexes around each airport. Now, remember, because there seems to be a lot of questions on this. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. There seems to be a lot of questions on this. I have, and look, I'm on y'all side. I have a international airport right by me that I put 2 stations right next to, thinking, trying to get ahead of the curve. Right here in Baton Rouge. This is a new station. I better get off my jock. Anyway, so somewhere right up in here, Baton Rouge International Airport. American Airlines flies out of it. I think United. Every now and then we will fly out of this because sometimes they give you, it's cheaper to fly out of here. And a hell of a lot easier to fly out of here than New Orleans. But anyway, so I put 2 stations here. These 2 stations can get planes on the ground and, of course, low altitude. It didn't show up, and it's not going to show up from what they're saying. They're not adding anything anytime soon. So if you have an airport in your area that doesn't show up, it's not going to show up. Not going to be anytime soon. And 2 regional airports. There's a regional airport here in Gonzales and the regional airport right here. There's a port right here, port of New Orleans. You see all the tanks and stuff, and they bring stuff in constantly. And fun fact is also during the Super Bowl this time last year, a lot of the stars and the bigwigs and people who smell their own farts and stuff came in on this airport because it was easier than getting into New Orleans and faster and whatever. We had to put security here just because of the people who were coming in and out of there. But again, it's not listed. We put a freaking, when we were first starting out with this, we have a station right here in this corner, airline in this highway right here, just to get low flights because they literally have to take they literally fly over my station. Hey man, it is what it is. But anyway, I wanted to touch on that because there seems to be a lot of people discussing how come my airport's not there? Is my airport going to show up? What are the hexes around it? And supposedly it's going to be six res 6 hexes. So you got one right here. This is my buddy state. I'm gonna find out why it's not online. 6 stations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somehow it's like this, but it's supposed to be 6 hexes around an airport. But what I want everybody to understand is you are detecting below 5,000 miles maybe in these hexes. So my tower station that's somewhere around here, there's something wrong. If all these things are offline, there's something showing us wrong. Anyway, but as long as your station can be way the hell over here. As long as you're capturing aircraft within the 6 hexes of an airport below 5,000 feet, change all this. I'll try to blow it up and somewhere there was a thing that listed all the. Anyway, so low, and then when you go to your calculations, your reward calculations, you can see the spreadsheet where it says what low cal. And there was a form somewhere that somebody shared that said, "Hey, this is the calculation for it. This is how are we gonna. This is what the white sheet says." I know I'm not losing my mind. Low altitude reward. So you can see this if anybody wants to read this. Low altitude rewards. Station that contribute low altitude aircraft below 6,000 feet. At one time I thought it was 10,000. Then I just was thinking it was 5,000. It's 6,000 feet in select airports. It's approximately 500 airports. And again, I showed y'all what airports around me that's not covered. Even though one of them's an international airport and it has flights coming in and out of it, American Airlines, major airline, it's not covered. So don't just automatically assume. You gotta go check that map I showed you, and you can see it. Incentivized coverage where low altitude. This is because they have paying customers, and the paying customers really want this low data, this low elevation data, whatever you want to call it. They're giving out 24 wings to the daily ALR pool for one station, contributing 100 plus for each hex. So they got eligible airports times 7 times 24, and it goes through all the math. And I failed college math, so because anybody wants to know, so you can go and see what you're getting for low altitude rewards. Try to shrink this up a little bit. Maybe everybody can see it. All right, so you can see I got stations offline. Well, one's my broken WB200. These are both my stations currently in Baton Rouge. It's killing me. Both of them have internet issues on the roof. What's the luck? Like, that's my luck. So when you go to your reward breakdown, you see like this graph. This has all types, but if you go and you press low altitude, it's a way of seeing strictly your low altitude. And again, my tower, which is 20 miles away as the crow flies from the New Orleans International Airport, is still getting 49 wings because it's capturing all those hexes around it. This convent silo is probably 30 miles, maybe 35 miles. Grand Isle's not even close. Like, I don't know. Some of these stations are not even close to an airport. I go to show you, just don't assume that you can't get them. So I saw Grand Isle was getting them. Grand Isle to the international airport. It's 56 miles. What it is this is the flight path this way and this way. So that convent silo that you saw, 40 miles. Morgan City had a couple. So I go to show you the distance that you can get with some of this. This is 60 miles. So I've been battling my WP2 and going offline a lot this past few weeks. Was that you on Discord? I remember someone on Discord been talking to Max about that. Mine is hooked up to my WB200 is hooked up to a cellular modem that's kind of in a fringe area, but it's right on the edge of this lake. You can see it's kind of all woods, but it's right on kind of this fringe area. I put it right here in this fringe area because with it being only water, as it looks this way, if you kind of draw a straight line from about where it's at toward Florida, there's no land. Like it's straight, because this is all straight grass marsh. This is grass marsh. There's no buildings, nothing here. And it can hit on a good day. I was a 75 or something like that. I-75, and I've showed that before, so nobody can think I'm lying. I've showed that to you before. That's 470 miles. But yet people still argue with me about antennas. All right, we can switch gears. But the WB200 thing going offline, hey, I'd make a ticket with him. I wouldn't play around with it. If it keeps going offline, if you haven't been getting help, if it's not you, I'm thinking of somebody has been getting help from Maxie on Wingbits Discord. I've been watching it. He said it was something kind of new. I think 120 dBm chimed in on it too. Yeah, it's new. He knows the stuff. I can't, fault him. I would just make a ticket, if they. So I want to talk about Nubla next. I told myself I wasn't gonna be this negative and grumpy in the new year, and that didn't last a day. Somebody's gonna piss me off in the middle of a live. Y'all better get your popcorn. Dude, do you know who you with? Come on, man. Let me finish my taco before I go crazy. So because I don't have a Marco owner's role, that means I don't have a fucking machine. I'm sorry, I cannot curse. Look at this. So if y'all been paying attention at all with Nubla is running off the rails right now. They were talking about earlier, like there are nobody present around for this. People couldn't get online. Nubla is just having all kinds of issues. There's been no update since 3rd. And then what happened was earlier, the DPIN doc did a deep dive and says This is why he thinks the token has dropped significantly. Basically, what all this says is you were supposedly staking your token with them, and he can't find any proof that it was staked. According to him, it was shifting to some kind of forwarding contract, which basically takes a token, transferred immediately to another token like USDC, USDT, then sends those tokens to a specified wallet. So he wanted people to start sending in their wallet addresses and stuff. He was going there and verifying it, that this wasn't just one or two wallets he found like this. This is what they were doing. So you're saying when people stake their tokens, instead of being staked, it gets converted to USDT and sent to something. He said, I need to see more wallets of people staked. Dude, like, so I guess what pissed him off was, you know, these people, you got everybody saying they want WeatherXM to buy the stations. WeatherXM should take over Nubler. WeatherXM should do this and do that. Me, I said, why in the hell would WeatherXM buy stations that can't tell you if it's raining or not, or what direction of the wind's going? The writing was on the wall, but we refused to see it. I've told you all that many times in the live. And whoever Taraka says, do you even have any way to prove your point? What point am I proving? The station does not tell you if it's raining, and it can't tell you what direction the wind's coming in. That's BS. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button before y'all leave if I get too much for y'all. It was about low cost of network density, not perfect individual station. What the hell does that mean? Oh, here's my stalker. Jenga has to come in. Jenga is in. I've talked about him before. He is in literally every single Discord I'm in. Look how he's a new person. He will follow me into every Discord I comment in. Look how he's a new member. You want to talk about a stalking fool? A guy who supposedly hates me and says I'm fake and calls me out everywhere, follows every one of my videos because he'll sit here and comment to people about what I say in videos. And even if he's downvoting it, brother, thank you, because it's called the interaction and YouTube still views it as a positive. You moron. Which I can't understand also is, I have him blocked, so how could he continue to see my messages unless he's so desperate that he has to have another fake account or another account to see my messages and then react or something? Because how can he see my messages? I'm fake, dude. You're right, I'm fake. He was in the same in Sword Chain. He said on record he would never stake Sword Chain due to loyalty to the validators. Skip forward a few videos, and he's blabbing about staking Sword Chain. If he has a station, it's more than likely a freebie, then he'll go full in as if he's part of the community as a real investor. Fun fact, I was that way about the Sword Chain investors because they did get screwed during testnet. But I was in direct contact with one of those validators, and I don't need to say no more than that, but me and him are behind the scenes working on stuff. So you don't have to pretend like you get involved, like as if you're telling me out. Called out, whatever, dude. Shut up. Grumpy's, that's fake. Tell me what I'm fake about. Everybody tells me they like my channel because I'm the most realest freaking YouTuber out there, because I'm not out here shilling, faking, or doing anything, goofball. You hate me so much. I'm the worst YouTuber ever. You tell it to everybody in every single Discord you go in. And yet you hate me so much, but yet you know what I say in all my videos. You must really be bored, bro. Really be bored. Fun fact is, you've hated me ever since DFly because I have screenshots where you sit here and blame me for DFly. You blamed me because I called out DFly when DFly was trying to tell people, oh, the reason we're not making it is because Grumpy and some YouTubers and Flying Burrito and them are all against us. No, we were against you because y'all took DFly took thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from people, swearing we promised we're sending your equipment out. I made a whole video on it. I'm not going to rehash it all. It's 2026. But there was not a single device from DFly that got sent out, but people are sending them $4 and $5 grand for equipment. What happened to Walmart? What happened to Walmart with the contract? They were sharing this thing that they signed a contract with Walmart to put a DFly station on every single Walmart in the country. What happened to that? People just quit talking about it, huh? Because it was fake. Lies. And that was my fault too. Get out of here, dude. Let me tell you what Stalker looks like. Tell you what Stalker looks like. We're in 12 mutual servers. 12 mutual servers. I got fans here who like me, and I guarantee we ain't got 12 mutual servers. Whatever, dude. Fruitcake. Dude, Dave, I just, all he does is go into certain, the reason it bothers me so much is he goes into all these different servers. There's people who don't know me. I don't come into Nubla a lot. So these people don't know really who I am or who I'm not am. And look, I'm not some big YouTube channel, but when people see that, what do they think? They see this one dude calling me out, and they're gonna sit there and think that I'm the loser or something. That I sit here and lie and everything else. It's bullshit. You know, he did that the other day in Mass Chain. He follows me into Mass Chain and starts saying the same thing until people had to tell him to go calm down. But I still defended myself in Mass Chain. I hate to do it in there. It's a brand new Discord, but I'm going to defend myself. And it's the same thing. Oh, he lies. He's fake, whatever like that. What am I fake and lying about? You follow me into every Discord and you keep saying that. Dude, who cares? We're in the Nubula Discord. Who the hell cares about something I said on Sword Chain or if I said on something else? So what? Helium Deploy sent me a Marco, but guess what? I paid my $300 something or whatever it was for a node that, from what I understand, is over. You got to do it through their own dashboard, which, from what I understand, is also failing. People are having problems with it, and they can't get help with it, which is why everybody's starting to think they're a scam. And that's what my issue is right now with Nubla and nodes and everything like that, because people can't even, I couldn't even log into it earlier today when somebody else asked me something about the nodes. Supposed to be you doing it through a dashboard, but I haven't had a chance to set it up yet. I can't get into it for some reason. So, dude, I paid for my Nubla node. Stupid. Anyway, how's everybody else's 2026? Hey, look, every YouTuber's got it. And honestly, the first time that he jumped on me, and I forget what it was, Sword Chain. Let me tell you what it was. Is I told Sword Chain back then they were making a mistake when they hurt the rewards for people in cars being parked. Back then in Sword Chain with the Marco, no, Swords, whatever it was, the Sword Chain, whatever it was, the little OSB2 device, you'd get rewards if you were sitting still or if you were moving. And the problem is the only way the rewards made a worthwhile thing is if they were rewarding you all the time for it, because you still had to be connected with your phone. But because I was, even though they allowed it, and even though they allowed it, and they said in their Discord they allowed it, but because my phone stayed connected when I got to my house and inside, next thing you know, I'm cheating that Sword Chain. That's what he was telling people. And it was allowed until it wasn't. And that's when he killed the rewards for being parked. And guess what happened to the project after that? Guess what? He can say all he wants now, but I said Sword Chain was in trouble. And where are we at now? Now they got rid of the whole OB2 port thing starting January 1st. I guess I'm still wrong, right? Dummy. So who's this Tarakas dude? Because apparently he's gonna call me out, but yet he's over here giving out. Wait a minute, this dude's gonna call me out, but yet he's got a link tree full of all his reference links, and you're gonna call me out? Yeah, dude. So who are you, dude? You supposed to be? Yeah, dude. You're full drunk on a fucking Kool-Aid. We might as well invite him here. I told him we were talking about him right now. So I don't know. I don't know how many of y'all are in that. Oh, that's enough Nubla excitement for the night. It's 7:40 already. I told my wife it wouldn't be that late because she wants to catch up on Landman tonight. Great show for those of y'all who watch Landman. I like Billy Bob Thornton. I met him personally. I ate lunch with him one time on a movie set. If any of y'all, you know, I'll say 10 years ago, it might have been 20 years ago. The movie Monsters Ball with Halle Berry. I worked security on it. Met the man. We were, me and two or three other guys working security was sitting, in the common, like they had a tent for just common people and stuff, and they had their trailers way over there. Me and two other guys that were working security, and next thing you know, Billy Bob Thornton's coming over with like a plate of food and sits next to us, and you would have thought he was just the way he just bullshitted with us. It's like any other dude off the street. Cool, and there's a lot of reports actually people of saying that like he don't want to go sit into like the special section. Like he will come with just the regular common people, the working people and stuff like that, and just come sit around and bullshit. And it was cool as hell. It was a cool experience, and I've always had respect for him after that, because he didn't have to do that. He walked way across the whole lot just to come talk to us and come eat lunch with us. Halle Berry, she would sit in her trailer, come out to do her part, and go back in, and nobody could see her. It was like she was like Michael Jackson, like veil, like not veil, but like you couldn't see her. She slipped right in, did her little part, and she slipped right back. Food got brought to her. It was way different, but back in the football shape, it was I could tell stories, but people would never believe it. I came very close to bodybuilding at one point. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not strict enough. Even though my body fat was super low, I have pictures. I don't think anybody here is on my Facebook, but pictures of me on the beach back just 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I was down to 9% body fat at one point, and it's chicken breast, brown rice, grilled fish every day, and I went to a dietitian, and he had me on like 350 grams of protein a day. You know how hard it is to get 350 grams of protein a day? Dude, I was going through protein bottles like it was nothing. And it was different. And then I look at myself now and I'm like, I can't even believe that. Like, it was crazy. Crazy. Robert says, I did some tech consulting for some green screen work on a low budget film, taught the leads how to launch a base jump and make it look real. The movie never made it. That sucks. Oh yeah, dude. Landman's cool. I go hunting in Texas, and then as a small kid, my dad brought me to Texas hunting for the first time in probably, I don't even want to say it, mid to early 80s, you know. And I remember seeing those oil pump jacks, what do you want to call them? I call them derricks, but oil pump jacks. And just when I saw Landman advertised and I saw it in it, I was hooked. I was hooked before I even heard dialogue on it. When it brought me back to Texas, I love going to Texas to go hunting, especially like Southwest or West Texas. I just love that area going hunting. You have these mesquite trees, and you're like, there ain't no deer out. The first time I went, about 5 years ago, I'm like, man, it's nothing but desert and mesquite trees and cactus. There ain't no deer out here. You can see, there ain't no deer out here. And all of a sudden, that spinner will go off on that thing, and next thing you know, it was 20 deer. It was crazy. You'd see the deer you want, or see a big deer, and you couldn't shoot them because there was so many deer around them. And they wear out that corn or whatever, and then they were gone again. Just disappeared behind cactus trees. But ever since I saw Landman, but I'm wasting my time because I gotta go watch Landman in a little while. But oh, what else? You're not supposed to let them know where your goats are tied up. Tell you, I cashed out some of my demo. I'm playing around with some trading stuff right now. I really don't want to discuss it because trading is something that I've told myself I would not go back to doing. But right now it just seems like some of these deep in projects and crypto is just sideways. I got to do something else to kind of like try to make a little money and just try to play around stuff. So I've cashed out a little demo. I tried to cash out Nadix because I have about $300 something worth of Nadix, which kills me because just a couple of months ago it was $900. Um, Nadix says um the it takes 30, like I didn't stake with them. I just, the token was on their thing. But you can either wait 30 days to get your tokens in your wallet once you claim, or pay a 30% burn to get your tokens now. I'm like, that's some crap. That's crap. But anyway, so no, I signed up for the 30 days because that pissed me off. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait my 30 days. I ain't gonna let you burn my stuff, and I'm gonna sell it. Sword Chain, I still got 20 days left, as Jenga said. You know, I have to, you know, I staked it. It was stupid rates at the point, but then token ain't worth nothing now, and you know, but I've been messing around with a little bit of trading, a little bit of liquidity, offering stuff like that to try to make a couple of dollars, and I made a couple of dollars, but it ain't worth it. That's not what worth even talking about. I told the guy who I'm messing with it with on Discord today, I would have did better taking that $1,000, putting it on Solana or VIT, watching that go up 10% and making that money. But I'm not getting trapped into the whole leverage thing again. There's no way. The market's too volatile. You know, it's being manipulated way too bad. I don't suggest it at all to nobody. Um, but it's just, you know, demo, I'm just out. Like I took majority of my demo, and I just don't see it recovering. If anybody else sees it recovering, let me know. But Stalker's back. Yep. Sword change. Let my card back. I'm pitching the cards. Well, sword change done. So Robert, is it Roberto Mstead or Robert Stead said sword chain's killing my car battery, going to pitch in the garbage pile. Sword chain is dead. DEAD dead. Um 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 what's sword chain? Sword chain announcements. Let's see. So for sword chain minis, we want to share some important announcements. So that's the last update also for the project. That's great, huh? Been a month. We have collected more than enough vehicle data to train our models. The mini successfully served its purpose. The user experience of mini has not matched standards we want for our ecosystem. Even though the hardware phase is ending, so that's what it says. So this led to the initial decision to retire the mini. Now for the more important part. Even though the hardware phase is ending, blah 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 blah. As long as you have 2,000 SOAR, you get the maximum daily sword chain mini reward of 46 SOAR per day. 46 SOAR per day. So we go to our trusty Brave browser. So you're getting 46 SOAR per day. You're getting a penny. Hey kid, here's a penny. Go away. Go play. 46. 46. They're down 61% in a month. And they're down 98.75% for the year. Like, what am I gonna do a video on? You know, there's no big news really, any projects right now. I looked at GeoNet, there's nothing really that big with them. I'm not saying they do anything bad. It's just that there's just everything's kind of stale since I did my last video last week. I know for the algorithm, I should be doing one every Tuesday morning, putting out a video about this update, but I feel bad because, you know, I don't know. Mm-mm-mm-mm. See what else is going on. Please make sure y'all hit the like button. If y'all like me, hearing me curse my trolls out. What else we got, guys? Security back in the football. They made shoot to look like the national flag. That was cool. Jump, break the flag, 5 fingers. Anyone still holding Bono? Can you still convert to Ono? I'll tell you what, though. I hope you can still recover. You know, the whole point of Bono to Ono was the longer you hold it, the more you get, or something like that. So I am actually hosting a station for Jorge. I don't think he's on tonight. He usually comes by and passes by every now and then. And you know, we're splitting, we have a certain percentage. He didn't have a place to put it. I put it up on my Geo station, and we split in the rewards. And me and him made the agreement. I'm not in a rush for it. He wasn't in a rush for it. So we decided we were holding our Bono as long as we could to get the maximum rewards. We weren't in a rush for Ono. So I don't think there was a deadline of when you had to get the Ono out, or Bono converted to Ono. Oh no. Damn it, Dave. Um Actually, Robert, I don't know which one it is. I'm sorry. I thought I had one in here. I kept mine because somebody took it apart and there was actually a ESP32 inside of it, which those are programmable. Can't say that those exact ones from the sword chain are, but you know, some crypto projects are putting, no, I'm gonna start a kick an ant pile on this one. But some crypto projects are taking their ESP32 and putting in a plastic box and charging $150 for them. See, y'all, certain people in here wanted to go knock entropy, or entropy as I call it, entropy for that. Sword Chain led the way. They were charging $100 for them things at first. My back doesn't itch, it's just my nerves are bad. This is like my ADD tick. You know how some of the kids get them clicker things and the spin things? Mine's mine. What I wanted to see was somebody posted that picture. There it is. Grumpy's Discord. Y'all need to be in Grumpy's Discord so y'all can learn what the hell's in the middle of a sword chain device. Espresso ESP32WROOM. I don't know what that is. I'm in denial that I need glasses. Oh, 32E. Now, what can you do with this? How can you program it? That's for somebody way smarter than me to talk about. Combined, all I want for Christmas is for y'all to get a Discord. I'm not going into y'all Telegram. Come on. More quests. Y'all are doing plugs, man. Y'all are doing plugs. Why do y'all gotta do peak quest? But hey, at least I see y'all active. I'll give you that. You know, I still got my 4 combiner plugs going. One thing that that combiner did say, for those of y'all who are in combiner, they're adding 5 popular brands. So hey, they are expanding. You know, sometimes you couldn't get the plugs from Shelly, so that's cool. We discussed Nubla. Milkman's the one that shared the thing about Nubla and staking and stuff like that. So X-Ray said he checked another wallet and did find an actual contract, so he isn't sure what happened to the first wallet. Kyle says Nubla is dead. The coin has no liquidity. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. All right, so Mass Chain, talk about Mass Chain real quick. One thing that we've been working on is Mass Chain. I'm getting a lot of questions about running Mass Chain on a device that already has an SDR type thing in it. That is my goal for the next couple of days, is getting Mass Chain working on a Wingbits DIY device or just any other pod type device. I used to know how to think a lot of. I'm getting old. I can't remember stuff. With the scam project that we talked about a little while ago, you had to run an SDR for the flight stuff, and then there was a yellow one for VHF where they were doing like VHF tracking or something. I don't know. And then we had to serialize those SDRs. I don't remember how the hell we did it, but supposedly if you follow the same type of instructions, you can do that and run Mass Chain on a device that already is doing, like, say, Wingbits or something like that. And I need time to be able to sit down here and just refigure it out. And when I sit down here, I don't have time to figure it out because I'm like, look at that shiny website over there. And I'm like, and that's it. And I'm done. It's I'm going to wait for the hardware version for Mass Chain. You know, depending on what it costs. I don't know if we haven't seen or heard any pricing yet, depending on what it costs. There's sometimes where these guys take hints from other people, and sometimes they do their own thing when they should just be taking hints from other people. You know, I don't know what this is going to cost. You look at what 4D Sky is charging people for devices. You know, you look at Wingbits and GeoNet and stuff like that. Me, I'm doing a DIY station. I'm doing a DIY station all day until I can't do them no more. If you're not that that you know, familiar with doing Ubuntu, Debian, Raspberry Pi type stuff, especially on client stuff, command line, might want to wait for it. For those of y'all who may be interested in that, I did post a new video up yesterday, the short Cliff Notes version, 10 minutes or less, how to get a Pi running mass chain. It skips the whole thing for the first 20 minutes of my other video where I showed y'all how to take a Helium device apart and then put Raspberry Pi OS on it and start SSH sessions and how to start root. And this second video skips all that for people who know what the hell they're doing as far as a Pi, who already have a Pi ready to go. And oh, I love some pecan pie right now. See how I get distracted like that. But for those people who already have a Pi ready to go, it was how to put mass chain on a device if you already have everything in 10 minutes or less. Boom. Now, what I need to try to get into is today I got in the device and so far I'm not impressed, or I'm doing something wrong. But what it was this. And I paid $60 for it, and I'm not happy. An AIS preamp filter, because you have to remember these things do not have LNAs or filters on them. They are strictly a receiver. They are more sensitive receiver than the yellow or the green or the blue ones that we're using for Wingbits. But these are metal, but they cost a little bit more. I think they cost a little bit more. But what I have found lately is pairing this up with a like a Noelec LNA, which yes, they cost a little bit more. But putting that with this and with some type of filter runs damn well. Really good, really good, really good. Even like the cheap LNAs, like these purple ones, you can get these purple ones for like $7 on AliExpress. You can order 2 or 3 of them at a time. But even putting that, point the right way, is backwards for me. Putting that with this works better than a green or blue SDR. So now when I lose a green or blue SDR, I got a couple of greens to left. You know, I have 15 stations for Wingbits plus the 5 I have with my friends. There's 20 Wingbit stations. When I lose one, I have 2 of these on standby all the time from AliExpress because they're like I said, $6-7 a piece. And then I have these. So thinking along that lines, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. If this helps out this so much on Wingbits, maybe we need one of these for AIS. I have to tell you, I ran it at my house for a day and my results were worse. Now, when you run some type of amp like this with for Wingbits, you have to bump the gain down, because if you have the gain up too much, it's too loud, too high of a signal, and it's hurting the receiver side of it. I don't know if that's what my issue is now. I cannot find any kind of setting for gain on this project. If any of y'all have did it, y'all let me know. So what my plan is I want to try to remote into my computer that has, so I can get to the local dashboard. It is pain in the rear end. So let me get to my remote session. Mm-hmm. 6167. And I'm going to remote into my computer where this is at the tower. And I want to see what it says. No, bear with me 1 second. I'm sorry. See, a good YouTuber would have all this stuff ready to go. And then I remote to the wrong computer. Yep. So anyway, I don't know if anybody has seen these. I don't know if anybody's familiar with them or not. But so far, and I'm curious to see real quick. What I did is I was running late after work. I ran by the tower. I plugged this in, made sure it was working online, and I jetted out of there. And I had to come home. And y'all saw I still got here barely in time. I actually was a couple minutes late, which is nothing new for me. You can see I'm still running grass. But so far it doesn't look like it's really helping. But we're gonna look in a minute, even though it is getting a little bit later. So I'm gonna let this thing run for a few days and see what happens to my mass chain tokens and all that stuff like that. Um, 40 Skies delivered today. I'm gonna tell you, 40 Skies, another one. I opened a ticket up with them 2 days ago. I'm waiting to hear back from them. My station is online on the local dashboard. It shows online. I'm getting their test tokens, but when you go to 4D Sky, I'm planning on showing you all that in a minute. But when I go to 4D Sky's map, my station's not on there. I don't know why. I don't know what. And if you go to one place, my station says it's registered, but then you go to the next page, it says it's not registered. That don't make sense either. I sent them screenshots, all that, opened up a ticket 2 days ago, have not heard a single peep back. Um, all right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, messages per hour, messages per day. That doesn't really look like it's changed too much. Yeah, that's new. That's new. This is new. This is, oh, these are new, I think. So I don't know. I can't tell really if I took some screenshots so I can see if this LNA. But I mean, for $50 LNA, I better be like, wow. I ain't buying one for my second one if I'm not going, wow. See, I'm getting more down here too. More down here, not as many here. All right, so before now again, this was also 2 hours ago. I plugged this in. Let's see what I was getting before. So before I was getting a little over 20. So I'm getting less class A's now. I was getting right at 1200. So that the message count per minute has stayed the same. My vessel count has come down. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm wondering if I have too much gain on this thing now. And I'm gonna have to figure that out. And asking them any questions, God bless me. Like I said, I'm gonna let this run for a while, but you can see. Yeah, I don't think it's really helping that much. I think I'm overloading. Now my maximum distance has gone up. That's why I think I'm overloading again. Because my maximum distance before I did this was at 48 miles. I'm at 66 now. See, and then on before I swapped it, my vessel scene for the previous minute was 41, and I got 178 here. I had a few more messages on here, but my channel A was at 467, and this was 421. So yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. What I probably need to do is take a picture of this and then see how much it goes up. I don't know. I don't know. Again, for $60, I need to be like, holy smokes, this thing really helped. I'm like, and this thing's metal. Like it's not a cheap AliExpress thing. Like you have to buy it from them. And see, my power indicator is white. I had a couple people ask me about these, so I took my little gift card from Santa Claus. Yeah, actually says if I don't know if he's still there now. You have to serialize each one of the SDRs. Use multiples. That's my plan. Yes, I don't remember off the top of my head on how I did that, but I know you gotta do it. And I think there's a cheat way of doing it. We're going back to the subject previous of putting multiple SDRs, multiple projects on the same device. So right now, this comes in as generic SDR 001 or something like that. But some of these other SDRs that are green or blue have different color, have different names. So they serialize themselves. When you plug in this, it's going to say generic SDR 001. You unplug this and you plug the blue one in, it might say so-and-so brand, USB something, something. So if you have them both plugged in, they're going to serialize themselves. In Wingbits, again, this is very high level. Like this is just me guessing at this. Wingbits has already assigned this SDR because it knows it's supposed to be using whatever brand SDR. And then you in the GUI of, did I close it out? Nope, I still got it. So if this works correctly, see what it says input, you can pick the input and the serial key in this GUI, and that should serialize it for you. If all, oh, look, this says tuna gain. So, but auto should be turning it down. Get to it. I'm not gonna jack with this yet. I'm gonna let this run the rest of the night. We'll see what happens. Oh, mass chain, you're gonna start over all the headaches again. Just like I thought. You know, that's just like we had to play with Wingbits at first and learn a little bit about it. We just need to find it. Big game say somewhere. So I say, so there is in the this is the GUI that you can install. So it has the, this is the AIS catcher GUI thing from the GitHub. It's not really from Mass Chain, but this was the only way I could get my stations online, both of them. And that's why I told you all that in the install video. So yeah, I don't know. Listen, I got to play with it, and this ain't the time to play. We don't serialize anything. This is set in EEPROM. Serial key in the example needs to be set to what is saved in EEPROM. SDR. Two SDRs may have the same serial number. But what about two different brand names? Because I'm saying, I remember when this is plugged in, this actually, when you do a LSU, I got to say LSU, like the university, LSU SB or LSUSB, this will say what SDR it is. So LSUSB. See, Realtek Semiconductor RTL 2838 DVB-2, and it tells you what device it is. And I think if you plug a different SDR, it's going to say something different. There's no place where it's a serial. I don't know. Trust me, Axie knows way more about it than me. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know. So, same as a serial saved in the EEPROM. See, there he goes. Do a LSUSB-T. Do a LSUSB-T. Right. And look, I'm talking about this. I'm not even showing it to y'all. This is what when I ran it the first time. This is, you can see this is how, like, if you're having problems, for those who don't know, if you have something plugged in like this one, and I couldn't get the dang thing to install, this is my first black, and I've had like 8 of them, maybe more. My first black one that has ever failed. And it worked when I pulled it out and swapped it with a green SDR. For some reason now when I plug this in, it doesn't work. It doesn't get recognized. I plugged another black one in that I had, worked right away. How did I know? When I do LSUSB, when this was plugged in, it didn't get recognized at all. As soon as I plugged the other one in, boom, it shows up. So, so J Styles already bailed me out and says how to serialize it. Anyway, so as you can see, this is why y'all have not had a video yet. Even though a lot of y'all are asking for a video on how to install, that, like a mass chain device over a Wingbits or any other pod that's being used for something else. So there you go. It's coming. It's coming. I am kind of disappointed in this, but again, I say it's disappointed. Maybe it's working too well. You can't see hot messages like you can with Wingbits with strong messages and what your percentage is, and keep your percentage around 5%. And depending on how far you are from the airport and how close, whatever. This ain't. I don't see anything about strong messages. So I don't know. I'll play with this a little bit, but $60. I can tell you, I won't be buying one. I got my other station ready to go for Baton Rouge. Problem is, Baton Rouge, as y'all saw earlier, for those who've been here that long, listen to me ramble. You saw the two Wingbits devices that are offline. Well, one of those is on the same building top that I'm planning on putting this mass chain device, which is offline. Two different cable provider, internet providers too, and both of them are offline. Yippee. And you know they're offline because cable provider, because chances are, because when you go to Tailscale says it's offline. Actually, one of them is a certain third party provider of OS. Be removing another one, putting regular Raspberry Pi OS on it, screw Helium, and running what I want on it, Wingbits and EarnApp, and that's it, and calling it a day. Certain third party OS. I think I had like 8 or 9 of them at one point. I think I'm down to like 3. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Oh, what else? Mm. Yeah, Jay Styles. I think. I would think there is, but kind of like what the old people say, like they're new at this. Bless their heart. I'm trying to stay positive. There are new project, and as I like to say the term, they're drinking from a fire hose. You know, but for y'all youngsters out there, you didn't realize that when summertime was, when we were, us older people, when we were playing, maybe that's why we have so many brain issues now, but it could be 100 degrees outside. And if you were thirsty, you didn't go inside to get drink. You drink out the fire. You drink out your garden hose, and it tasted nice, hot, and plasticky. The water was hot, and it tasted like plastic from the hose. And you didn't worry about if fertilizer or dog pee or anything got in your garden hose or anything like that. You were thirsty, you drank out of it. So my term that I like to use when people are being overwhelmed and they're trying their darndest, bless their heart, but you know, they're drinking from the fire hose. That just means that they try and drink, but it ain't from the garden hose, it's from the fire hose. And I think Mass Chain is seeing that right now. And no matter how many DMs I've tried talking to some of them and say, look, guys, y'all are trying to invent stuff that has already been tried. Why don't you reach out to some certain projects that have tried some of the stuff that y'all are talking about, instead of allowing people to knock them in their Discord? Because while I'm not trying to suggest a partnership or something, but I'm sure some projects wouldn't mind just saying, hey guys, we tried that. This is why it failed. Or we tried that because we were interested. And, I don't know. We use the spigot. Well, if you use the spigot, at least you don't have to worry about tasting hot plastic. But it's true. My kids are like, we ain't got nothing to drink in this house. And you open the refrigerator and they got all kinds of stuff in there. I'm like, well, no, we only drink, my son only drinks orange Gatorade. My daughter only drinks red Gatorade. My wife drinks blue Powerade, not Gatorade. And God darn it, if I'm wrong, because one of my kids will do Powerade, the other one does Gatorade. The other one will not drink Gatorade. The other one will not drink Powerade. And you know me, their mama entertains that stuff. I'm old school. I'm like, well, then y'all just die of thirst. Then I'll go to jail for child abuse, because even though we have a closet full of food and we have a refrigerator full of drink, they're going to pass out. And then I'm going to go to jail for child abuse because I didn't feed them exactly what they wanted. Y'all people who don't have kids yet, y'all get to look forward to all that. My daughter moves out and graduates high school in 5 months. So Anyway, well, boys and girls, my wife is waiting for me to go watch Landman. I picked a bad time to run out of alcohol after my troll got to me. Y'all see how I react to my troll? Look, I joked around earlier. That's how you know you made it, YouTube, and you got official trolls and stuff. Everybody's gonna have one, and but it's one thing when he wants to call me out for certain things, but when you sit there and say, you know, certain things, I'm gonna defend myself. That's just how I'm built. I know you can't stop the trolls. That's what the troll does. But a troll like this who thinks he's so right, but it's my fault because back then I had 2,000 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, and me and my 1,000 subscribers, we made DeFly a scam and all the stuff like that. Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't remember what he even said in Mass Chain, but yeah, guy who hates me. He hates me so much. Says how wrong I am. I just lie all the time, and I have a horrible YouTube channel, but yet somehow mysteriously knows every single thing I talk about in every one of my videos. Hey, bro, thanks for the views. And like I said, even if you thumbs down me, YouTube still counts it as an interaction, which is a positive. So thank you. You think you're hurting me? It is what it is. Trolling raw hot. And he got really bent out of shape, because I put a bounty on him, and I promised people certain amounts of crypto or money if anybody could tell me who Django was and give me the information on him. Not that I know what the hell I'm gonna do with it if I found it, but he got all, oh, you guys didn't put bounty on me. Oh, you so tough. Dude, go troll some. Like, I can't stand trolls. I don't care if they're trolling me or somebody else. Like, you sit behind a keyboard and act like you're some kind of internet warrior or something like that. So what? I'm a YouTuber who got a free weather station from Helium Deploy. Oh my God, really? I paid for the Nubla node, but I got a Nubla Marco weather station for free. Who ever heard of such a thing? That's so evil, and like nobody's ever did that. Hey, at least I'm not BitBoy trying to tell all y'all to go buy the stupid meme coin just so I can go behind y'all backs and dump it. Jesus. Hey, Helium Deploy wants to give you a station so that you can do an unboxing video on it. Why would I turn it down? I always need subjects for videos. I'm running out of subjects now, so I can't put videos up because I'm not joining hardly any new deep pin projects other than the one or two we just joined. And until I have my big party when Wingbits goes TGE, sometime between now and Christmas 2027, I just, it's hard to. So they want, and he's like, oh, and I bet that's what he said in the other Discord. I bet Helium Deploy is so happy with you because your 4D Sky's not even online yet. Yeah, actually, it was being put online that weekend, but and yeah, they're so upset with me, but yet I'm still seen to be in that Telegram group for YouTubers and influencers, huh? Dummy. Ping for separate thing. I guess Helium Deploy is a little slow right now too, but don't have that much stuff coming out. Yeah, I think it's just a slow time right now. Hey, it's the holidays. You got teams that are taking time off. They're not really doing much. It'd be nice if 4D Sky can answer my ticket. Oh, look at that. 4D Sky answer my ticket. Shut the front door. Don't worry about the 4D Sky map at the moment. It's not automatically accepting new connections. We'll be releasing a new version in a few weeks, which will be much nicer and fix these issues. Yes, I've seen the new version on TikTok. Man, I want my station on the map, bro. Come on. Like, I really don't think this map's that bad. Maybe I just lack imagination. Look at Greenland, y'all. Let me say this. I didn't know if I was gonna address this or not. Let me say this for the 7 people still here. Life is short. And as you get older, this is all time to be serious. You know, sometimes I get serious about life and family and stuff like that. I don't know how old some of y'all are. I know there a few of y'all here that are a little bit older than me, and some of you here that are younger than me. I tell my son all the time. He wonders why I do certain things, and I must sound like a broken record to him. I said, "Son, you're 19 years old. One day you'll be 50 with kids, going to college, hopefully going to college, hopefully have kids, whatever. And then you'll think back and say, you know what? Now I realize what my dad was saying when I thought he was an idiot, or now I realize why my dad did what he did." And the reason I'm saying all that is because some of y'all are not going to understand where I'm coming from, but 50 doesn't sound that old, but I got friends from high school that passed away recently, passed away in the last couple of years. One was in the military and committed suicide about 3 years ago. He seemed like he was totally fine. Didn't know what demons he was dealing with. I wish he would have reached out to help. There was a bunch of us guys that would have taken him out to different places, non-alcohol, whatever, and did whatever we could for him. We were tight with him. His name was Carl, and that's bullshit. But my point is, we all got an end date at some point. Life is too short to be bothered over stupid shit. And it's stupid shit that's out of your control. And I'm not going to sit there and say this person is, but you know what? There's some of y'all in this chat. It's some of y'all who are in this chat that even though we've never met personally, I'd consider y'all a friend, closer than a friend. Some of y'all who I talk to or I lean on, or we lean on, or my Discord leans on, or we go into certain projects and that I can rely on, that I feel that I could help them and they could help me and everything like that. So some of y'all might not know what I'm talking about, and I don't want y'all to call out names or anything. I'm asking y'all, please don't call out names because I don't want to have to delete it. But sometimes you can't let stupid shit bother you. Shit that's out of your control. And I hate to curse, but I don't know how else to put it. I'm not losing sleep in life. Life is too short. My son's home from college. I'm not going to bother myself over stuff that I can't control, no matter if it's my government or another country's government. You can't. Look, I don't agree with what other countries' leaders are doing, but I'm not gonna let it bother me and my family because I can't control it. I can only control what's in Grumpy's life. And maybe to a point, my wife and kids' life to a point. But even I can't control some of that stuff. There's some stuff. My daughter hits a curb. We thought she only took out one tire. And that was going to be, I told you all that last week's live at $300 something. For that, you know what we did? We brought it to the shop Friday. You know what they tell me? "Oh, sir, Mr. Grumpy, I'm sorry. You could be really grumpy. She hit both tires. The tires got an egg on the side of it. We didn't even see it because it's on the inside somehow. So, oh, by the way, them tires you thought were this much, going to be this much." They replaced the tires and they realized the alignment is so out of toe or whatever it's called. She needs a new strut, which is all a one piece strut, shock, whatever the hell it is, or something like that. You know what that cost on Toyota Camry? I'm looking at $1,000. $1,000 for the two tires in the strut. It's all whatever it is, all in one piece. And look, I priced around. I called some buddies that are out of my area, but that run mechanic shops. They ran mechanic shops since I was out of high school. And you know what they said? Sounds like they're giving you a damn good price. Because it's a local shop. They ain't trying to make a come. Well, it's $1,000, like, which I don't have. I know y'all sick. Jenga's gonna sit and say, there he is. He's gonna say he's all poor and shit again. My point is, it's out of my control. Like, there's certain things you can control and certain things you can't control. And I'm damn well not letting politics do that to me. I'm not gonna let politics stop liking one of y'all. And I told that to this guy. I said, look, man, look, like you bring great information and share it and stuff like that. there's no reason to get upset over some stuff. And it's just, I hate to see it. I hate to see it. You know, I've always talked about like Wingbits. Wingbits has the most of all the discords I've been to, even recently. There's no talk about anything in there other than it's like Fight Club. We don't, you know, but you don't talk about anything else. In that Discord, you do not talk about anything else. You don't talk, definitely don't talk about politics. You don't talk about any of the projects or anything like that. And in my Discord, I have to stick to that because no matter if it's positive or negative, right or wrong, even if the person's right or there's somebody getting pissed off, there's somebody getting upset, and it's like, man, but you can't let this like even if you're pro Trump, you can't let these anti-Trump people get and bother you and screw you up. And if you're anti-Trump, you can't let the Trumpites or whatever you want to call them, MAGA, whatever like that. And I hate that term because I can support my country and love my country and not be MAGA because I don't agree with everything the man does. Who does? I got people who would wear Donald Trump underwear, but I can tell you right now, they don't 100% agree with the man. And I know people who don't agree with anything he does, but they don't let it bother them. They go to work every day. They enjoy their family. They enjoy their time and everything like that. They're like, I'm not letting politics control me and control my life. And I'm not letting what Europe does or what Venezuela's doing right now. I'm not letting that shit bother me, man. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's 2026, man. You know, I'm gonna do what's best for me and my family. And I'm not gonna let outside forces that I cannot control bother me. Because I can't control it. So why am I losing sleep? I don't care. You know, y'all think Trump's bad for whoever does, or y'all do or don't, whatever. Come meet the governor of Louisiana. It's like he's trying to outdo Trump with some of this craziness he's doing. Like he's trying to impress him or something. I'm not letting it bother me. Like, what am I gonna do? I ain't calling the dude up. Hey, Governor Landry, like I think that's the most stupidest idea you've had. Have you ran it by anybody else, or did you just come up with that while you're sitting on the toilet? Like it's like what California does. I got buddies that live in California. They're like conservative Republicans. How you think they feel living in California? But guess what? We joke around. We have drinks at these conferences. We joke about it. It's over with. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's all right. I've told you before. I learned a long time ago in this channel. I don't care what you say. You can say something pro Trump, negative Trump, pro Kamala Harris, negative Biden, anything, and guess what? You lose subscribers no matter what. So why even discuss it? Like even when there's something crypto related that comes out of the government, people get upset. And like you just report in the news, hey, Biden did this, Trump did this, Trump decided he's gonna do this with crypto. Kamala Harris wants to do this. AOC can't find her hairbrush even though it's in front of her. That is where I'm gonna go bad at. I'm gonna tell you right now. AOC gets nominated. I'm probably gonna have to shut my channel down. The best thing was when Kennedy, the Senator Kennedy from Louisiana, said she's the reason why they got directions on shampoo bottles. You know what? If the Democrats want to put her up as a nominee, whatever happens, happens. We'll see. So this is the 4D sky, and it appears that my station is online, and you can really tell where all these planes are with all these words, huh? And why would you want to rotate the map? Feeling like a Van Halen video or something. Oh yeah, you could. And what you doing with these short? I guess I can't knock it because they in 2 weeks they're coming out with a new one that looks awfully familiar. Um, I don't remember my. I don't even know how to get to my sword chain box. All right. Anything else? Anything else? I'll trade you Newsom for your governor. Ain't no way. But like I said, you hear some of the stuff this governor's doing, and you're like, oh, it's kind of like mass chain. We had a really, really conservative governor years ago who screwed up Homeland Security and all kind of stuff. And fun fact, that's one reason why Katrina and the response for Katrina was so jacked up in New Orleans, because that governor before basically stripped the Homeland Security and put it under the National Guard of Louisiana, stuff like that, and caused all kind of problems. Fast forward to 2025, and what's this governor doing? I got an idea. To save money, we're gonna basically close down the branch of Homeland Security and put it all under the Army National or the National Guard. And you're like, bro, you were here for that. Like, what? It's just stupid stuff like that. Um, Public safety agencies who rely on all these plants and stuff like that, the money and the taxes that come into that's their operating budget and stuff like that. So instead of taxing like the residents, they don't charge that much to the residents with their home rate taxes and like that, because they have these petroleum plants that are literally making $1 million a day. And yes, at one point when I used to work security at one of them, they were bragging that they would make literally in the black $1 million a day. He wants to give them tax exemptions, which means that for the sheriff's offices to keep operating, really, you have to give tax exemptions to the petroleum plants that make $1 million a day profit, maybe $1 million in 2 days profit. Like, anyway, we're way off chain here. We're way off we way off. What map is that? That's the 4D Sky map. App.4dsky.com, or if you go to the 4D Sky website, you can click on that. And that's all I was coming. I was coming to see if 4D Sky map, and then there's another map somewhere that you do the Explorer. You can see how many stations you have. Look, I have to say that I'll keep saying it, and I'm not saying that just so you can support the channel and use this code at Heal and Deploy. But if you got the money and you wanted to get into aircraft tracking, and Wingbits was really flooded around your area because 619 can't get his bigger hexes like he keeps asking for, this might be it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there was no stations in Houston before, and this is filling up quick. So somebody does have some money to spend, because there are some areas. They're just gonna flood Los Angeles with them. I don't know. I don't know what their mechanisms are as far as project, more people coming in, and stuff like that. Multiple stations in the same hex, and I don't know what their rules were for that. But like some of these countries, it's one thing for them to put a DIY station together, maybe for $100, maybe a little bit more than that. But to actually spend $1,100 on station to put in some of these countries, I don't see them. I don't, at this price point. I don't see them ever competing with Wingbits as far as coverage. I'll say that. It's not just because I'm a Wingbits fanboy. It's just being honest. Even right now, what's it cost? $400 something for a Wingbit station, and you're paying almost double or triple that. You know, especially if you want the second antenna that I've yet to pick something up on. You know, I don't know. But they're saying that supposedly they're not in competition with Wingbits. They're going after, you know, other things. Other things. I'll finish the task and work on peace out. Appreciate it, actually. I appreciate the help. Thank you, man. As usual, I appreciate you passing by. Go Wingbits. All right. I think I did enough rants for tonight. Maybe I got a old beer in the refrigerator somewhere in the back corner. I definitely need a drink for the night. I ran out of alcohol before Christmas and never replaced it. So you don't have to drink every night. People ask me that. Just because we live in Louisiana doesn't mean we drink every night. We drink every morning. Joking. Just joking. All right, boys and girls, make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate everybody who's passed by. We'll be back Thursday night with another live. There was a video I wanted to work on, but I was thinking about doing a video about this LNA, but it doesn't seem to be helping out. We're going to play with some games and stuff like that and see what happens. But hit the like button. You know, I appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody's just hanging around. Don't let stuff bother y'all. You know, breathe. You know, when we start getting the bear market, not to say a bear market's coming, but just when crypto starts getting sideways and boring, people start getting a little irritated with each other. So it is what it is. But thank you all for watching. See y'all in the next video.